Hi there, my name is Mary Conroy and I am doing a presentation for the marketing class, and I'm doing my presentation over Delta traditions at D&W Outdoors. So some quick fun facts about Delta traditions. They are located on Parker Road in Jonesboro, and they recently moved. So this is something I really highlighted in my paper. This is what kind of drew me to do Delta traditions, because they have so many differences from their old store to their new store. So they actually used to have a storefront, their own cute little gray building on Parker Road. It was known for having front porch sales. It was known for its loyalty program, and known for having really good clothes at like an okay, a little bit more expensive price, but most people were willing to pay for it. But their rent in this building got extremely high due to what the owner said was some air conditioning issues. It was constantly cold in there, they could never get it down, and it was super expensive, along with the rent being really high. Luckily, the owner, Holly Beth Knoll, her parents actually own D&W Outdoors, and that's really similar. It's like a Bass Pro Shop or an Academy Sports, and it is a locally owned business, and it has everything from outdoorsmen to hunting, to duck decoys, and it even can fix up your truck. And so it was very country, very male based. There are some females who shop there, but lots of males for sure. They were really known for having their Delta wall, which you can see right here. This is one of their models on Instagram and Facebook. Her name is Amanda, and she's in front of part of the green part of the wall, and they got super popular because they had this huge Delta wall that had 5 different colors on it. And then I wanted to include a picture from their old store. So this is just a picture of a sales associate and a shopper at their old store. It was so cute. I miss it so much, but I know why they moved, and then there's their logo right there. I would say their target audience is women 16 to 45. The reason that's so broad is because of the move. So before the move, they really targeted high schoolers, college students. They had lots of sorority apparel. And then when they moved, they found the opportunity to found outdoorsmen's wives, daughters, outdoorsmen who are women to come and shop there too. So this is what it looks like when you first walk into the new store at D&W Outdoors. You are immediately seeing this right here. So this is the dressing room, and you can see that everything is pretty much filtered by what it is and what brand it is. So all of the t-shirts and tops are together, but they're associated by brand. So that's something that I really liked, and something that I didn't like, because it's kind of hard for me to find outfits, and that's something we'll talk about later in the what we learned. Then I kind of took a picture of this different view of what you see from the side when you walk in. And then to your left you have shoes, swimsuits, t-shirts, lots of summer clothes, and then this will fill up for fall. And then if you look kind of to the left, you see huge racks of clothing. That's kind of their sales section. And then you also have the specialty t-shirts, Lauren James, Turn Rose, all of those things right there. So now it's time for our SWOT analysis. So we'll start with strength. As you can see, Wonder Woman doing her thing. We got some strengths. They have a very good reputation with multiple target audiences. So like I talked about before, their target audience is a little bit broader than other boutiques, I would say, just because they do reach those hunters' wives. The location is close to town and close to high schools, which is really good placement. Prices are competitive to other Jonesboro boutiques, but because of the move, they have had to rise them just a little bit. They have a strong Facebook presence, so I believe they have over 10,000 likes as of right now, which is really good. And they do recognize the importance of female employees. So being in a dominantly male employee atmosphere now, they really have tried super hard to put lots of females in the store to greet you and make you feel comfortable. And that's something that the What We Buy book really took home, was the importance of females doing female selling. So next we have weaknesses. So I said that location and place was also a weakness for them. So a lot of boutiques in Jonesboro are super close to Arkansas State. Delta Traditions is a little bit further away and a little bit more expensive, which puts them at a disadvantage. The dressing room is in a hunting area, so when you walk out, you could see a middle-aged man. It's very likely, so that's something that is also a weakness for them. You want your customers to feel comfortable, and both of the books said that. It needs more nooks and crannies and maybe some more mirrors. So as you see from the first picture, they could use some more mirrors, some openings, some light in there. And the What We Buy book made a really good point that people gravitate toward nooks and crannies, and there's not very many from those pictures, as you can see. They don't have a huge following on Instagram, and they don't do a lot of paid Instagram things, and they have no website. I figured that out. I had no idea. They don't do any online sales, and sometimes they do Facebook sales, which I think is a huge missed opportunity and huge missed search engine opportunity. So speaking of opportunity, some of the opportunities they could do is add more mirrors to the layout to improve the interior design. They could have more female attire, maybe do some sales forecasting to figure out if the wives of husbands are hunters themselves, because some of them are and some of them have their own income. Could they afford it? They have a lot of social media opportunity with buying more advertising. And something else that I really took in the paper that you can read about is the use of Jonesboro and their following in influencers. Not necessarily a traditional influencer situation, but maybe having some discount codes, having some popular girls around Jonesboro really take that product. And they need more paid advertising. Some threats is there's over 15 other boutiques in Northeast Arkansas, and that also, that doesn't include the number of chain places and online shopping. So the limit does not exist on how many places you can get clothes in Northeast Arkansas and online. So now we take over to the 4P, so we have products. So I took a little screenshot from their Facebook page just to highlight. I thought this highlighted all of their products super duper well. They have t-shirts, sandals, jewelry, accessory. They even have men's gifts and specialty gifts. So price, they have name brand and they have trendy. You'll stand out from lower retail clothes, but it's going to cost you a little bit more. They're anywhere from $17 to $300. They do run occasional sales on clothes, but they're really known for the front porch sale, which they still do even in the new place. It gives you kind of a home away from home southern feel, and it's traditionally 25 to 50% off retail prices, and I think they do a really good job at competing with other Jonesboro boutiques. So place, they have everything together based on the item and brand. As I said earlier, they see such success with this strategy, but again, we'll talk a little bit more about this later. Promotion, so they do organic social media posts that have not done a paid post in a really long time from all of that. And they do have a loyalty program, so every 1,000 points you get $10 off. That's kind of how they say thank you to their customers. Their sales associates are good at greeting you. They could be a little bit better, but that's something they really prize. And they try to promote their designer clothes really hard to get girls into the store. So shoppers in Northeast Arkansas, primarily women, they have a new crowd of hunters' wives, as I've said before, and hunters have more of a disposable income than maybe a college student would have. So they do have a huge opportunity with this new target audience to sell a whole lot more money, and they can raise those prices just a little bit. Women make most purchasing decisions, and that actually comes from the Why We Buy book, and that's really, really key because some of these moms who are shopping with their daughters are probably making all of the decisions on where they're going. So these are high schoolers and college kids with a high disposable income, maybe from parents and the wives' husbands, or maybe even the wives, because women are now in jobs more than ever, according to Why We Buy book. So some things that I learned from this are the gender segmentation. That's something that's always really interested me, and the Why We Buy book did a really good job at talking about the traditional gender roles of men being hunter-gatherers and women are more skillful, and they kind of dilly-dally a little bit, and so that was something really cool, but that shifted over time as women have more of an income role. And that's really cool to think about, that sometimes these have high prices and we think, oh my goodness, but more women are working now than ever. So Delta Traditions has done a really good job of keeping up with that. Sales forecasting. So as a sales minor, I really haven't learned much about sales forecasting, which is crazy, but I learned a lot through Delta Traditions. So Delta Traditions tries to keep up with their competitors. They follow them on Instagram. They monitor their posts, and they also go to a lot of the similar buying shows and marketplaces to get the most on-trend things, and they try to keep up a year in advance to keep their sales forecasting super accurate. So I really enjoyed learning that. And a quote that I took, I believe from the McGraw-Hill Hunt Below book, is 93% of online experiences begin with a search engine. And that's something that Delta Traditions is lacking. They're lacking a website, and they're lacking the SEO. So when you Google Jonesboro boutiques, they're actually the 19th boutique to come up, which puts them on the second page. And it's a known fact that nobody goes to the second page when you're Googling something. And then we have adjacencies. So this was something I really learned from the What We Buy book. So this is like your impulse buys. You didn't realize that you needed this. And I think the Delta Traditions used to do a really good job at this when they had a really nice register. And they also used to put outfits together. So they would have jeans, a shirt, a hat, a necklace, all together. You could buy it right there. That's something that they've changed, as we saw. They now have things together and then brands together. And I think that's a really missed opportunity, because I think it's hard for me to find things that match in there. And so that was a really interesting thing that I liked to relate back to Delta Traditions. And then customer service. So their customer service in their old store was amazing. They had one girl who was specifically designed to greet people and then help people. That actually they got rid of that with budget cuts when they moved. They've done a good job at picking up the slack, but that's not enough. And I learned that through the What We Buy book, is that you have got to be so much better than your competition. And McGraw-Hill really brings this home too. It's not good to be good enough. You gotta be better, and you have to succeed more and really make your customers feel special and comfortable in your store. And in conclusion, men versus women shopping, which we talked about a little bit, that was one of my number one lesson learned. And Delta Traditions at D&W Outdoors has had their ups and downs. Between their Delta Wall and their important move, they survived through a changing economy, which was really important. Their ability to keep up with trends keeps them with every generation from 16 to 60. You'll see everyone shopping at Delta. They have many areas to improve, but they are a retail store on the right track. And thank you for watching. I learned so much in this class, and I'm excited to use it.